Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool. Got a quick one today, mainly because this is what I needed to do, so I thought I'd video it. I make a lot of custom sized locks, usually involving a very heavy chain like this. This is a trailer tow chain. It's hardened, USA made, rated to about 7,500 pounds. Costs about $7 to $8 a foot. I've got 2 feet here because this was the size that I needed. No more, no less. And a lot of times I'll make, kind of the specific custom size for a specific job. We have a lot of vehicles, small vehicles, ATVs, snowmobiles, things like that, that we sometimes need to lock up or even lock components to them, so the small parts don't get stolen. If I'm hooking like a $1,200, $1,500 bike rack, like a fancy Kuat 4-bike tray onto an SUV or an off-road vehicle or something, and it's going to be left unattended somewhere, especially for hours or even days, it's very easy to cut those little locking pins that hold components like bike racks into the 2-inch receivers. And the crooks use the same tools we do. They'll use battery-powered angle grinders and drills and things like that. And it doesn't take very long to get through stuff. So you want to put up, as much of a barrier as possible. So one of the things I do is I get this heavy-duty tow chain. I have not had this heavier stuff breached. This one got breached. This size here. You can get smaller stuff. This is a little bit smaller here. This is rated to about 4,000 pounds, and you can get this stuff for about $4.50 a foot, whereas this, like I said, $7 to $8 a foot. So I've got, say $16 in chain right here, and then I can choose whatever lock I want. And of course, the lock picking lawyer, I know, can zip through these pretty quick, but most of the time the locks are left alone. They go after the chain or what the chain goes through. If you put it around a tree, they might just cut the tree down. Or if it's around galvanized pipe, like on a bike rack or something, or at a building, they may just cut that instead and then work on the chain stuff later. I can get key locks. I use a lot of combination locks. But anyway, so what I usually do is I wrap these in inner tube. This is what it would look like. In fact, here's a big one. This is a same chain. This is a 6-footer. I use this one to actually lock bikes to the bike rack, because a lot of times they may be unattended, and it's easy. You don't have to take the bike rack. You can just cut the bikes off. And cables, I can cut through cables with pliers. Might take a little while. If I use a real tool, it's going to go pretty fast. But anyway, this is where I'm ending up, except I'm just making a small one. I often have a lot of inner tubes. I get these from bike shops in all kinds of different sizes to make stuff. So I've already cut one here. It's a little bit longer, as you can see. Why? Because I usually take the ends here and fold them in on themselves like that. Because that's actually, one of the points of wear. I don't want it to just tear off there, though it's not a big deal. And sometimes I need to actually throw something through here and then have a way to connect it up to the chain to pull it through. Sometimes it's a big process, like this one here. If you look, because this is so tight, this was actually a chore to get it through there. So sometimes it's nicer to have a little bit bigger one. This is on the bigger side than I would normally use, but it'll take me a while to get it through, and I don't want you to have to wait. But anyway, this one I actually can lower through here, just like that, until I get to the end. There it is. And then what I usually do, like on this one I'll show you, is I get some heavy zip ties and punch a hole and zip tie it through that second link so I can keep this link out where I can actually work with it. Plus it shows people what's on the inside. Like you're not going to get through that. And it keeps the inner tube seated. I do the inner tube so it's quiet, doesn't chip paint, doesn't stand out. Sometimes you don't even notice it because it's dark. So you may not even realize something's locked up that well until you start exploring it. But anyway, so I'm really quick to make all kinds of different custom-sized chains for locks. And if I was to buy something like this at a bike shop, it's going to cost, I would guess, probably 70, 80 bucks. You can get the kryptonite ones. They go up to, you know, 90, 100, $150. But I want all kinds of different ones for, you know, specific uses. So anyway, hope that was helpful. And with that, Doc out.